Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So today's BookList Thursday. You know my love for BookList Thursdays. BookList Thursday is something I do with Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. We come to you every Thursday with some sort of book thoughts, recommendations, book ideas, something bookish related. And today's topic is we're going to talk about the New York Times bestsellers list. I think we found the bestseller list of hardcover books for the week of February 1st, February 2nd, something like that. So I'm going to talk about the first 10 books that are on that list, whether I've read them, whether I've not, if I haven't, if I'm interested in them, all of that fun stuff. So let's get started. How about that? First one on here is Where the Crawdad Sing by Delia Owens. Wow. I don't know where my copy went. I think I gave it to my mom. I'm not really sure. But I did read this book. I gave it, I think, 4 stars. This follows a young woman who grows up in North Carolina in the late 1960s, early 1970s. And she has a really rough family life. And so at a very young age, a lot of her siblings end up leaving the house. Her mom eventually leaves the house and she's left with her dad, who is not the greatest person in the world. So she pretty much learns how to survive on her own, living in a very rural area of North Carolina along the coast, and kind of fends for herself. She's a true survivor from a very young age. As she grows up, you kind of grow up, or you go with her as she grows up, and eventually she becomes a suspect in a murder case, and it goes from there. I loved this book. There are parts where it could have gone a little quicker, but it's very atmospheric. I felt like I was at the coast. I felt like I was in North Carolina with her in this marshland that she grew up in. Fabulous book. It's one of Reese Witherspoon's book club picks, and there's a reason why it's at #1. There's a reason you need to go buy it. It is wonderful. The next one on the list is Lost by James Patterson and James O'Born. This one follows, let's see, the new head of an FBI task force takes on a crime syndicate run by a pair of Russian nationals. James Patterson is a very prolific author. He's not necessarily one that's on the top of my list, but when I do pick up his books, I really do enjoy them. He is the king of short chapters. Are they high on my list to get to look at? No. My husband really, really loves James Patterson and will read any and all of his books that I get him. So every so often, if there's a really good one that he enjoyed more than maybe others, he'll tell me, like, here, you need to read this book. So this may end up on my shelves eventually at some point in time. I do like picking up a James Patterson when I want to get through a book really quickly, because you can, like, I do devour them when I do read them. The next book on the list is Dear Edward by Anne Napolitano, right? Yeah. This is the Barnes & Noble National Book Club selection, I believe, for February. This follows a 12-year-old boy who tries to start over after becoming the sole survivor of a plane crash in which he lost his immediate family. It deals with his struggles. He becomes, I believe, a little famous because he is the sole survivor, so he's going through this grief, but yet put in this very different world than he's used to. My coworker is actually reading this book right now and really, really enjoys it. So I don't know. I told her, I'm like, if you like it, give it to me. I'll give it a try. But she's really enjoying it. So that could make an appearance on my shelves. The next book that's on the list is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. This is Reese's newest book club pick. This follows Alex Chamberlain. She is a very successful woman who helps kind of other women get what they want. She's kind of a life coach or motivational speaker, something like that. And she hires a nanny or hires a babysitter to take care of her daughter. And the babysitter is African American and has the daughter, I don't know if they're out at the park or they're doing something, and the babysitter is accused of kidnapping the daughter. And Alex kind of vows to really help this babysitter out and kind of help improve her life. It sounds very interesting. Not sure if I'll pick it up yet. I don't know, but Reese Witherspoon has not let me down yet. So we'll see if that ends up on my shelf. The next few are definitely ones I'm not very interested in. We have The Guardians by John Grisham. This follows a lawyer, Cullen, and he's also an Episcopal minister. He antagonizes some ruthless killers when he takes on a wrongful conviction case. So I immediately was like, John Grisham, I don't really read him, but when I read the synopsis about a wrongful conviction case, piqued my interest because I'm kind of like interested in those stories lately. I've been listening to some podcasts lately about wrongful convictions. It's just, So maybe this is the book that I actually give John Grisham a try. I don't know. This is the problem when I read about books, I want them all, but not the next one. So the next one is The Moral Compass by Danielle Steele. I tried Danielle Steele a long time ago. I just can't. Good for you if you love her. Awesome. Just not for me. So this one is shortly after St. Ambrose Prep goes co-ed. Oh, it must be a school. A student is attacked and the community falls apart. So that's the next one. Then we have The Dutch House by Ann Patchett, which I've heard a variety of opinions on. This follows sibling relationship as it's impacted when the family goes from poverty to wealth and then back over and back again over the course of many decades. I think the cover's beautiful, but I'm not sure if it'll ever make it onto my shelf. Next one on the list is a book I have read, finally, right? Is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Oh, guys. 5-star read, one of my favorite books from last year. Pick this up. There's a reason why it's still on the list. Definitely psychological mystery involved about a famous painter who is accused of killing her husband. But then, like, once this crime is apparently committed, she stops talking. And so we follow a psychotherapist who is, like, determined to help her kind of find her voice again and figure out what happened. Phenomenal. Yeah, definitely read this book. And then the last couple of books are for sure on my list of I want to read them. This next one is The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. Depression era Kentucky. 5 women refuse to be cowed by... I don't like that description. Depression era Kentucky. It follows the kind of traveling library that I think 5 women are kind of running. Men don't necessarily want them there. I don't care. I'm giving it a whirl. It sounds fantastic. And then the last one I want to talk about that's on the list is Long Bright River by Liz Moore. I'm so intrigued by this book. Again, a friend of mine has read it and loved it, like flew through this book. And it is about Mickey risks her job with the Philadelphia police force by going after a murderer and searching for her missing sister. Yeah, all of it. Fantastic. So those are the top 10 New York Times bestsellers in the hardcover section of the list. I've read 2 of them. I want to read more. It's okay, Lindsey. It's plenty of time. But let me know, do you base your reading off of bestseller lists like this? I don't necessarily do all the time, but I'm definitely interested. I will peruse it or check it out every so often, but I don't like solely base my decisions on that. So what are your thoughts? What do you think of bestsellers lists? Leave those below. Otherwise, head on over to Sarah over at her channel, Sarah's Nightstand, links below, and see what she thinks about this list and what she's read, what she's excited for, all that fun stuff. And comment, subscribe, like, all that. I'll see you next time. Bye.